Speaker, at this time, it is my pleasure to yield 2 minutes to the gentleman from California, Mr. McClintock.
Gentleman from California is recognized for 2 minutes.
I thank the gentleman for yielding. Mr. Speaker, this question transcends the issue of illegal immigration. The President's action has crossed a very bright line that separates the American Republic, that prides itself on being a nation of laws and not of men, from those unhappy regimes whose rulers boast that the law is in their mouths. It's true that throughout the nation's history, presidents have tested the limits of their authority. But this is the first time a chief executive who is charged with the responsibility to take care that the laws be faithfully executed has asserted the absolute power to nullify or change these laws by decree. Under our Constitution, the President does not get to pick which laws to enforce and which laws to ignore. He does not get to pick who must obey the law and who gets to live above the law. And he is forbidden from making law himself. All legislative power herein granted shall be vested in a Congress of the United States. Whether we choose to recognize it or not, this is a full-fledged constitutional crisis. If this precedent is allowed to stand, it will render meaningless the separation of powers and the checks and balances that comprise the fundamental architecture of our Constitution that have preserved our freedom for 225 years. If this precedent stands, every future president, Republican and Democrat, will cite it as justification for lawmaking by decree. The measure before us is the first act of this Congress to restore the balance of powers within this government. The President would be well advised to heed it before sterner measures are required. The seizure of legislative authority by the executive proved fatal to the Roman Republic. Now that's happening in our own time. Let that not be the legacy of this administration. For more than 2 centuries, Americans have successfully defended our Constitution, and now history requires this generation to do so again, which it does beginning with this measure today.